Yo, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to play into ranged top laners. So let's just get straight into it. The first thing that I'm going to note is that you want to typically utilize some type of bush, often the bush I'm in right now, and then only walk up if you can for last hits if they're not going to punish you too hard. And if they do punish you, just stick in the bush and make sure you get the XP from the minions, because getting the XP is what really matters since we're playing around the level advantages. We're not really worried about specifically going down a little bit of gold. It's totally okay to go down gold. The main objective is just to not fall too far behind in terms of levels and allow them to push into you if they can. If they don't push the wave, it's fine because it'll still naturally push into you when they're last hitting, because since you're not last hitting, they'll have to push it faster. And so it'll take longer, but it will still eventually come to this position. And then your overall goal is to eventually freeze the wave really close to your tower, which then threatens it all in angle, because we're looking for all in angles as much as possible, which is exactly what you kind of see here. I don't get an all in angle, but I find a heavy trade on him. And we're basically playing around our mobility in our levels. So you can see how level 3 was really when I was able to do that. Typically level 3 and level 5 are going to be common times that melee top laners are going to be able to do this on ranged top laners. And then once again, I'm going to build up a big wave. So you see how I get the wave on this side of my map, and then I allow the second wave to come up, build up a very large wave, and then pressure him, because now my wave is going to pressure him. If he walks up too far, he's going to take damage from it. And I have the current level advantage, so I'm looking for a potential trade on him, and I'm playing around his cooldowns as well. So I'm going to try to bait out his blind. As you're going to see here, I'm going to dash onto him to bait out his blind, because I know that that's the cooldown that I'm worried about, and then I'm going to take the all-in angle, and I'm going to find it. And if his jungle was here, I wouldn't have all-in. I would have just taken the trade and then backed off, built up the wave, and then been better. Obviously, jungle showing up throws a little bit of a wrench in my plan, but again, that wave management, building up the wave, allowing it to come close to my turret, and then once I have that big wave built up, utilizing that to play around my level advantages and to crash the wave under his turret, and either crash the wave under his turret, recall, or dive under his turret, pressure the turret, these types of things. Obviously here, I'm recalling by dying, but recalling for your item is very important as well. So getting defensive boots is extremely important. Oftentimes, the defensive boots are going to allow you to start winning that lane, is really going to turn it in your favor, because they're not going to be able to damage you very quickly. Their poke's not going to be very good. I'm also going second wind, which is very good in the ranged top laners because they're going to poke you frequently. So that also, in terms of runes, helps. And then I want to note here as well how the wave is frozen under my under his turret right here, and I am taking damage to push it, because I know if he freezes on me, he's going to permanently poke me, and I'm going to be not going to be able to walk up. So you notice how I take so much damage, but that's better, because if I didn't take that damage, I would get froze on and he would easily kill me. So I'm taking some damage when I need to get the wave in a better spot. And again, you're going to see here, I'm going to once again focus on the wave more than focusing on taking a little bit of poke, because I notice my jungler is here, and so building up this big wave will allow me to dive. Playing around jungle pathing is very important, because it's very easy to gank and dive squishy range top laners, and so playing around these types of item spikes, once again, I wait out his blind, and then I go and stun him, and we find an easy kill angle. We're then able to push the turret and just easily snowball this lane. So to reiterate, the main things that you want to take into account from this replay against ranged top laners is you want to allow them to push level 1. Just try to get as much XP as you can from being near the minions, and you can walk up to last hit if it's safe, but you really don't have to last hit. It's okay to fall behind a little bit of gold. Play around your mobility. Typically that's going to be on level 2 or level 3 that you're going to get sometimes level 5, but play around these level spikes, and then look for all in angles once you have the wave stacked, or once you have the wave on your side of the map. They're obviously going to be pressuring poke on you, and you're going to be playing a lot more for those potential all-in angles. And then find a recall, hopefully by crashing the wave at a proper timing, where you can then recall for defensive boots, which will then begin to swing the lane in your favor. And then here, additionally, I'm building a Mob Malmortius early, because they have a top side and a jungler who both are AP. And so typically, again, these extra defensive kind of choices in terms of itemization will allow you to bully them very heavily. You can see, once again, I'm going to be able to all-in him under his tower as we push the turret when he rotated in correctly. And then we're literally able to one-shot him due to the itemization diff in this lane. And then we're easily able to snowball from there. So now let's get into a replay against Jace. Also, I didn't mention that I did forget to upgrade my ult level 5. That was a misclick. I didn't intend to do that. But yeah, let's get right into the Jace replay now. Okay, and of the two replays, this should be the one that's of greater interest to you if you're really trying to learn how to play into these harder range top lane matchups, because it's against rank 5 Jace. He's a decent Jace player. I mean, he's not great at it, but he's okay at Jace. He's rank 5, and he's playing Jace, which is a much stronger top laner and can bully you very hard, and he plays this lane much more aggressive. So I'm kind of going to show you how to play into a more aggressive champion. So the first thing is, I didn't instantly go into the bush because Jace can actually all in you level 1, unlike most ranged top laners. So I just kind of was hovering more in the middle there. And then you can see here how I allow him, I don't get the last hit on that first minion because he's a more dangerous champion. I can't just walk up him for free. But you're going to notice that I am going to walk up now. And why did I walk up now? Because he missed his ranged first ability on me. And when he walks into me like this, he's going to be pushing the wave quicker because he's going to have to jump on me, as you see here. And when he jumps on me, he pushes the wave involuntarily, and then I can back off because he has the he already wasted his skill, so he's not going to take or do a ton of damage to me. And then I'm going to get the wave in the position that I spoke about wanting to get it in earlier. And so then I get the benefit of a last hit. I trade back on him a little bit because I know that now he's in my range. The range champion's not going to prefer to be in melee range against me, and my minions are going to be attacking him, while his minions are not going to be attacking me because he is closer to my wave than I am to his. Again, I'm playing around my mobility, so you see how I do dash in there, and I see an opportunity for a last hit without losing the trade too hard, and so I do take it. Again, if I'm able to get them kind of low, I'm okay with that. And then in this situation, we end up getting the wave in a good spot, and you might think, well, Talon, this is not good, you're low health, this is really bad. But he used his ignite. I'm about to hit level 3. I almost have a rage bar built up. I have the wave in a perfect spot and an easy all-in angle here. Now you're going to see he ends up living on a single HP, and it's mostly because I mess up by not taking into account bone plating. Had I taken into account bone plating, I would first ability and I'd be fine. So here, I waste my flash too early, and then I don't first ability. I should have first ability, then second ability, instead of second ability, then first ability, because then I would pop the shield from the bone plating and do more damage. So a mechanical misplay, but in terms of the wave management, everything we did is exactly how we wanted it to be. We got the wave in the spot that we wanted. We ended up trading only when we saw angles where he would have to overextend and trade into our minion wave, and we just made sure to play around the levels and his cooldowns. But obviously then it didn't end up working out quite as well as we would have liked. We're going to see once again, now we're going to be in another position where our jungler's on our side of the map, and the wave is starting to slow push back into him. And so I'm going to once again build up this big wave, force him to trade into me on the wave, and then when he does bully the for the Scorpion, this is something that's also important to note. You're going to see how in a second, I believe he does go for the Scorpion. He does not yet go for the Scorpion, so that was a, I guess I was thinking about a different replay, but that's fine. Either way, the point is my jungler is now here, and so when my jungler is here, I'm going to make more aggressive trades, and I'm going to be building up that big wave. And so you're going to notice again how this big built up wave, even though he ends up running and getting chased by my jungler, he uses his flash, he tries to waste his time, and then he eventually dies anyway. This giant wave that I have built up allows me to get a major advantage because now I can utilize it to push the turret by building up that wave. So again, that wave management thing, essentially you saw the same thing twice. I allow him to keep the wave near my side of the map. Then I use the next wave coming in to build up a giant wave. If my jungler is on my side of the map, I'll play around my jungle. If not, then I'm just going to try to crash that wave, and then I'm going to recall for an item. But because, again, my jungle's here, I end up having the all-in angle, playing around that jungle timing once again, and then recalling on my item spike, which in this case is boots, allows me to now be very strong. And you're going to notice how now the shift in lane occurs, where the aggression now is my, it's my turn to be aggressive and make more of the decisions in the lane, because I have my level 5, I have my ultimate, I have my ignite for the all-in potential, and I have the item advantage. And so that's where now we're going to be looking for a potential all-in on him, and we're going to be building up a wave. We're going to be more focused on trading when we can. So even here you see I know that I can actually trade with him now, and I'm not really scared. Once again, I'm going to continue to try to push the wave, but because I have these two minions, I can easily freeze it here and make him have to come to me, and then the next wave I can use once the next wave's coming to build up once again a big wave. And so just again, the same wave management principles you're seeing over and over again in the range top laners. Now that he has used his cooldown, I'm not afraid to trade on him again. Since he used his first ability, his main damage, I try to trade on him. I thought I had an all-in angle, but I messed up. I was trying to stay behind him so he would knock me into the turret, and then I would kill him. But that little mistake isn't a big deal, because what do I have? I have a giant wave being built up, I have a big health advantage, and now I put him in a position where I can easily dive him. I find the dive on him, and then notice, I want to notice something here too. Notice how I wait for Xin Zhao to use his mobility, and then I flash. He flashes on me and he dashes on me, now I can flash. Rather than flashing right away out of panic, because then he would be able to catch up to me and he would have his mobility. So that's another important thing to note. and then we take the recall here. So even though you saw that a jungle ganked me and played around me, in both of these games, their enemy jungle has ganked me, and I still find an advantage. I have one gank from my jungle, they have one gank from theirs. So it's not a jungle diff, right? I know some people will often be like, oh, your jungler just helped you, whatever. Playing around your jungle pathing is important, but in both of these games, the enemy jungle is also ganking me. The first time, the Amumu ganked me before my jungle ganked me, and this time the Xin Zhao ganked me after my jungle ganked me. And in both of those scenarios, because of these similar wave management principles, focusing on the wave, I'm still able to accrue an advantage even into hard range matchups where I'm still going to outscale. Again, I'm not afraid to make these trades now that I have this item spike, and you notice how I focus more on pushing the wave because I know that he's going to be pressured off, and I'm going to now have the lane priority to rotate and help my jungler. So that's going to be it for playing lane phase into ranged top laners. Again, I will reiterate some of the main points, which are initially, don't worry too much about last hits, just focus on getting your levels, and then once you have that level 3, the level 5, the mobility, and these types of power spikes, alongside potentially finding a recall for your defensive boost, you can then start to shift to a more aggressive mindset in the lane. Play around your jungle's pathing and make sure that you manage a wave where you keep the wave close to your turret and then build it up with a second wave. Utilize that wave to crash it under the turret and either dive them or use that time to take a recall angle. Make sure that you wait for the enemy to waste cooldowns before looking for all-ins, and make sure that you're not getting too poked out as you do go up for last hits. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're interested in coaching as a rank 5 Sovereign autofill player, I do coaching for just $15 an hour. Just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or to the link in the description to my Discord server, and I'll see you guys in the next video.